Morning everybody, welcome to April. It's colder again and we've had rain and stuff, but I suppose that's not a surprise. The horses are in... Did you just stick your tongue out? I wasn't sure if I caught that right. Anyway, horses are in full shedding their coats phase now, so I'm just covered in hair all the time at the moment, and it's tickling my nose and just finding it everywhere, but I'm sure you know the feeling. Anyway, as usual, they're eating their breakfast. Aren't you, Basil? And Tommy's eating his as well. Hello, Thomas. I'm slowly reducing their food a little bit now, so that, well, Tommy's already looking a little bit portly. I have fenced the field off, I'll show you that in a little while, and probably going to have to put Tommy in a smaller section still. Still thinking about that at the moment. Anyway, Saturday morning, normal jobs. Once I've put them out, mucking out and getting all the wet shavings out and give them new and make them all smart and tidy. And then I will tell you what I've got planned for the rest of the day. As you can see, the clock's changed, but it is now light by the time I get here. I'm hoping the sun's going to come out today, but we will see. So I will see you. What are you doing? I'll see you in a little while. Well, I've just finished the mucking out and I've got a little friend come up to say hello. I think Basil's coming too. It's because there's horses going around the field, to be honest. But anyway, I finished the big mucking out. My ears are cold. And I am just sorting out the hay barns. And last video I said I had lots of plans for my week off to sort out the hay and stuff. But it basically rained all week. So I didn't get anything really done that I wanted to do. So today I'm trying to do that and get a bit prepared for the swallows, because I expect they'll arrive at some point soon, but I'm not quite sure when. So I'm moving the last couple of bales of hay. Well, I've moved the last couple of bales of hay, well, it was more like a bale and a half, out of here now, so I'm just tidying up. I think I'm going to have to take that mat up and this mat up to get all the hay out. So at the moment I've got Basil's and Tommy's Basil's thick winter rugs and Tommy's thin ones that are not going to be used anymore on that pile. And this pile is the summer ones that are not going to be used quite yet. At the moment I'm alternating between this one, which got wet on Thursday, so it's hanging up, and the one Basil's wearing. They're sort of medium weight. He's grown quite a bit of his summer coat now, so although it's not hugely warm, he's got more insulation of his own now, so, and he seems to be plenty warm enough, so that's what we're doing with that. These rugs here are rugs that I think are not salvageable. One of them is Basil's, which he's totally annihilated early in the winter, and then there's a couple of Chesney's in there and Fidget's old Sweetitch rug. And I don't think really they're fixable to sell. They've got rips and stuff in them, big holes in them and stuff, so I'd mend them to use them again, but, well, not the one that Basil's totally annihilated, but the others, but obviously I'm not planning on buying a huge enormous horse again, so I won't use them, so I think they're going to be chucked away. It's a shame. I think there should be some way of recycling the material from the rugs and stuff or something. You know, they make all sorts of things out of recycled material and stuff, but I don't know where you send these things to get them into that process. I don't throw huge amounts of them away. I tend to mend them or get them mended, and just keep using them until they're not usable anymore. But you know, some things come to the end of their life and you have to get rid of them. Anyway, there we go. So here, halfway through in here really, and I'm going to try to make sure there's nothing under where the swallows always build their nest, so they always have a nest up there. So I'll pull everything away from the wall there. Last year, something built a nest up there. I don't think it was a swallow though. So I'm probably going to move the shavings away from the wall as well. And I'm hoping to get rid of all these rugs soon, so they're not a problem. And obviously my electric fence kit. And I'm then going to have a bit, it's not bad in here, but I want to move this big pallet because it's in the way. So it's not too bad in here. So I've still got a little bit of hay left. I've got, this is the hay that they like the most. So Basil's getting that steamed at the moment. So I've got a bale, well not quite a bale left of that. And then this is the stuff that this is a few bales of hay that I couldn't get them to eat, but were buried and it was difficult to get to when the farmer came. So I'm seeing if Tommy's eating some of it. So we're giving it a go. So Basil basically gets, I'm finding it a little bit difficult to get the balance right. Basil is getting 2 cakes of horseage and 2 cakes of steamed hay at night at the moment. I think really he needs 3.5. But it's very difficult to do it like that because he doesn't quite finish it. And I think if he finished it, he'd tidy up a little bit on his floor, although he did a big poo in his hay last night. Tommy is getting 1 cake of horseage and 1 cake of hay a night. And sometimes he gets a little bit of horseage that Basil might not have eaten the night before. Varies a little bit. Sometimes Basil eats it all, sometimes he leaves a little bit in the bottom of the net. I think the sections in the horseage vary in size a bit, but they're really heavy. 2 cakes or sections of it in a hay net is quite heavy to lift. So there you go. I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and a bit of a rearrange, not of that side, but I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and a rearrange over here, as I've got a trailer I want to bring in here really. So I'm going to move the pallets and have a tidy up, and I think I might keep the shavings in here as well. When I next get some in, I think I'm going to put them in here. So I just need to have a bit of a plan. I think really also want to keep, you know, my most recent horseage purchases separate from the ones I'm working, so I make sure I have a good rotation on them, so that I don't have any here for too long in case I miss a hole or anything, because once they get a hole in, they don't keep. Anyway, we're in the middle of that, so we're going to finish that off now. All done then. Just got to get rid of that pile of rugs, and then these are covered in plastic, so they should be okay. Obviously the ones that are hanging up probably are not going to be there long term anyway, so they should be fairly safe, but the swallows always just seem to make such a mess, as you can see up there. But I wanted to have the rugs covered up this year, so obviously there's space to pile some more on there later on. So we've done the yard, and the yard is all tidy and shiny, and we've managed to get the trailer. And this trailer I can use for poo picking in the field, so I can fit a lot in there, so that makes life a little bit easier, and I've got somewhere to store it as well now, which is brilliant. And then I've got my hay and horseage along there, so when some of the hay is gone, I should have space to keep some shavings in here as well. I'm going to hang on to the pallets because you never know, and they're not that easy to get hold of, so if I need them again in the future, I will and I can't get hold of them, so I'm going to keep them certainly for a while and see how I get on. As you know, I think I did my first worm egg count I can't remember if I think I've done it since my last video, but I think I mentioned it in my last video, but I really can't remember. Anyway, this month tapeworm tests. I might do them this weekend, probably leave it till next weekend, but I bought them just in case we get a good time. Because they have to stand for half an hour without eating, I try to do it if I'm going to tie them up outside and wash their tails and all that sort of stuff, because it keeps them occupied. Basil gets a bit stressy, does lots of windsucking, lots of grinding his teeth for half an hour if he doesn't have anything to occupy him in the stable, so it's good to have him tied out and washing his tail and giving him a big brush. Tommy's not too bad in the stable actually without anything, he's quite good, so he will just stand there. So that is the plan anyway. So last weekend I divided the field in half. Actually some of the fence has blown down a little bit off the top pegs in the wind this week, or in the last couple of days, so I just need to go down and fix them back up. The boys are over there. So I did that on last Saturday I think, and I have also now done some weed killing on this side of the field. I read an article in a magazine the other day about pulling the weeds. There's so many, that's not going to be happening. So unfortunately I do have to use some weed killer on there, but I do just spot treat the weeds, and I'm hoping this year that because we had that dry session early on, so middle of last week in the evening I managed to chain harrow the field after I got them in for their dinner. Then on Saturday which is earlier than usual, and that's partly because we don't have big feet Chesney making a big mess out here, so because it was dry and he hadn't made a huge mess, this dried out really quickly so I could get in the gateway with the chain harrows. So chained harrowed the field nice and early, got the field fenced off because the grass is growing, and have managed to get some weed killer on the docks much earlier than usual, and this is the best time to get the docks, so I'm really hoping that I might manage to have managed to have killed some of them this year. This one here looks half sick, so we'll see. In another week or so I might have to go around and treat some again and see any I've missed. So the boys are in this half of the field. As I said earlier, I may have to fence Tommy off into a much smaller area. I'm going to see how we get on. I started poo picking, so I need to do some more tomorrow. I usually only get out there once a week to be honest, but try and do, you know, a good load once a week. And I also wanted to put some grass seed down on some of the thinner, where there's less grass, the grass is thinner, on a few sections in this half of the field that they're not in. We've had a bit of rain, we'll do a bit more this week, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to ride later because very excitingly, as I came down this morning, all the road closure signs have gone, so that must mean the road is open. So Basil and I'm hoping we'll be able to go for a bit of a long ride, not hugely because obviously he's not done much work now since Christmas, or certainly since they shut the road in the middle of January. So that's the attempt, but I do think he's going to be a little bit shy and nervous of going through where they've just done all the roadworks, because basically they took the whole there's a dip in the road and it was a bridge over a stream, so they took the whole road out because apparently the bridge was going to collapse. Didn't look too bad, but what do I know? And that's why it's been shut for so long. So it's been shut for over 10 weeks, 10 and a half weeks I think, or no, maybe that's unfair, probably 10 weeks and 1 day it's been shut actually. And they've, like I say, they've taken the whole road away. They've put pipes and stuff underneath, I think, because I've walked down to see what they were doing. Basil and I have been a bit, but we've not managed to get close enough. He's too nervous to go very close to all the signs and fencing and diggers and tractors and all that sort of stuff. And anyway, they've rebuilt the road, they've put new curbstones in, and they've put a new fence down one side. So, and they've taken 2 trees out. So it looks very, very different. So we'll see if we can get down there today. First thing I'm going to do is have a cup of coffee. The sun came out for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to go for a ride. So I'll let you know how we got on. Well, we had a good ride. Time to go out in the field now. I'm not quite sure what Basil was looking at, so we might be going at speed. Any polos? Oh no, we can stop for polos. Sun's come out. I'm hoping it's going to stay out. Oh, and we're going. I'm sure Tommy's looking at it, whatever it is as well. Down there. Just going to move away from our backside, I think. Don't know. We managed to get through the roadworks. It took a bit of time. Well, the roadworks have mostly gone, but there's still one sort of thing there, vehicle, I don't know what it is, on the side where they've rebuilt the bridge. It took some time to get over there. It does look very different. It's quite scary, as you can imagine. But luckily no cars or anything came while we were trying to get across in the middle of the road. So that was good. We've got over the first time. They have got a big truck still parked further up the road on the corner, which is a silly place because you can't really see if anything's coming around the corner. But cars can't. I can because I can see over the hedge. But checking he's still there. Oh, silly pair. Well, I really don't know what they're looking at or listening to because I can't see or hear anything. But they're pretty good pals, these two now. And luckily, Tommy doesn't care if I take Basil away for a ride. And Basil's pretty good at going away. We usually have a whinny about halfway out. I don't know if he's talking to Tommy or not. We don't hear an answer. Well, the sun's come out now, so it'd be nice if the sun was out for the rest of the day. It's not hugely warm, so Basil will be fine in that rug. And I'm going to go home, and I will be back later. Tomorrow morning I'm planning to start doing the cobwebs in the stables, and then I can clean the windows and more stuff as the weather gets better. So I'll see you later. Back again, and I've been spotted straight away. They made me laugh at the moment, these two, because Tommy's just round the corner there. But Tommy especially with the horsage, he just comes straight in now very quickly. He seems to like it so much. I've got a friend, a hairy friend, Daisy's losing her winter coat as well everywhere, so I'm covered in cat hair and dog and horse hair at the moment, aren't I? How are you doing, pretty girl? How are we doing? Should we get their dinner then? Now you see what I mean. Tommy's here. And Basil. Let me laugh. Tommy's not allowed in first, is he, Basil? No chance. Good boy. However, he's pretty close behind. Open Tommy's door. Basil's gone in like a good boy, aren't you? Good boy. Oh, we've stopped. Are we coming now? That's a good point. It's not been as warm this afternoon as I thought it was going to be. Good boy. There we go. He's all fluffed up. You're all fluffed up. Eat your carrots and your apples. What have you found in your bowl today? They've got carrots and apple in their bowl today. Looks like Basil's found it all already. Right, need to sort the hay. Sort the hay out and feet and rugs and stuff. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, dropped it on the floor, Basil. That's all tucked up then for the night, and I have a noisy cat. Very noisy cat. That's all tucked up then, and job's done for the day. That I'm quite pleased. I think so. Tomorrow is starting the cobwebs and doing some poo picking. Hopefully it won't rain in the morning, so I'll be able to do those jobs and ride Basil as well. That's about it, probably. Tommy, big size, hard life thing, Tommy. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, bye.